This is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. 5 days now before the election, we have messages for people who have voted already and those who are waiting.
Our team coverage includes a countdown reminder from the State Elections Commission. Amy Reed shares that in just a moment. But if you've already cast your ballot and you're preparing to watch on election night, what should you pay attention to? Naomi Coles is here to begin our coverage, guiding us to some key parts of the state. Naomi?
First, western Wisconsin, one of the swingiest regions of the state. It's home to a lot of counties which voted for both Obama and Trump. Milwaukee suburbs and the Fox Valley are big ones to determine whether red turnout will balance the heavy and predictably blue turnout in Dane and Milwaukee counties.
We always kind of think of the western area as the Wild West because it's unpredictable and it can shift with the political winds.
A part of the state to watch on election night.
And when you look at counties and areas that supported Obama in 2008 and 2012 and then flipped to Donald Trump, moved in the Republican direction, they are disproportionately located in western Wisconsin.
It's not just who wins in those counties, but by how much. And that's a similar key when looking at turnout across rural Wisconsin, especially when stacked up against reliably blue Dane County.
Turnout is expected to be very, very high in Dane County. It's a fast-growing area, and so it'll take a lot of rural vote to balance that out.
Another place to pay attention to is the northwest corner, which is really interesting in that it's quite rural, and yet for many presidential elections, it has gone for the Democratic candidate, but it did in 2012, but not in 2016.
And the suburbs of Milwaukee, Washington, Ozaukee, Waukesha are the traditional strongholds of Republican voting in the state. Turnout there is expected to benefit the president, but even that is a question mark.
There's a lot of talk, though, about suburban voters and which way they are leaning this time. A lot of talk, especially about suburban women. So high turnout might not necessarily benefit President Trump, but it's expected to.
And, of course, the Fox Valley, arguably as important in recent elections to the GOP base as the traditional Milwaukee suburbs. Now, coming up at 6, we'll talk a bit more about those pivot counties and how some communities in the past have served as bellwethers to the whole state.
All right, Naomi, thank you. More than 1.5 million people have already voted in Wisconsin as of today.
Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of people still have to get their ballots back in. If that sounds like you, Amy Reed joins us now to explain the advice the Elections Commission wants you to know. Amy?
The main thing they say is it's too late to go by mail. That goes for if you still have to request a ballot too. Today is technically the deadline to request an absentee ballot by mail, but USPS estimates that it takes 7 days to get to you, so you wouldn't get it until the Thursday after the election. Instead, they suggest finding another way to vote, or if you already have your ballot, turn it in person.
Now that we have less than 7 days, voters need to consider another method to get those ballots back to the polls on time to be counted. So either dropping them off with your clerk's office, bringing them to the polls on election day or to your central count location on election day, or utilizing a drop box in your community.
The Elections Commission Administrator Megan Wolf said the My Vote website has options listed for you to return your ballot, so you can look up what's best for you. There is always the option of going in person either early or on Tuesday, which you can do so long as you haven't returned your absentee ballot.
Amy, thank you. If you do go in person November 3rd, you might just cross paths with a member of the Wisconsin National Guard. Governor Evers called up about 400 troops to work the polls. They'll cover for sites that don't have enough workers. The governor says members of the Guard will help ensure that Election Day goes smoothly and that voters and election officials have the assistance they need. There have been many conversations about the integrity of this election.
Madison City Attorney who worked for the State Elections Agency for 12 years says he's confident in the progress we've made since the 2016 election. Jamie Perez shares why he feels this way. Jamie?
Well, he says that cybersecurity has been an issue and a point of concern in the past, but he believes that the system that we have in place now should help relieve some of that uncertainty. Now, City Attorney Mike Haas said the fall of 2016 was when we first heard about threats of foreign interference surrounding the elections. Now, DHS and the elections community helps detect, prevent, and respond to these risks.
across the state, we are light years ahead of our preparation in 2016 at the federal, state, and local levels. Second, Madison has one of the very best clerks in the state, and Mary Beth Witzel-Bale. I've always known that working at the state, but I have appreciated the chance to witness that up close and to work with her and her team.
Haas also said the fact that a lot of people voted early and that the cities work with the police and outside agencies, those are all added layers of security and protection. And one thing that he said that you all can do at home to help with the integrity of this election is to not read and share false information online.
Jamie, thank you. The head of the Wisconsin Republican Party says hackers stole $2.3 million from the party's account that was being used to help re-elect President Trump in Wisconsin. Party chair Andrew Hitt says the party noticed that suspicious activity last week, contacted the FBI, which he says is now investigating. Hitt says there is, quote, no doubt the theft puts Republicans at a financial disadvantage in the final week of the race.
The two presidential candidates descended on the Sunshine State today, where more than 7 million voters have already cast early ballots. President Trump played to a packed-in audience in Tampa about the same time Democratic candidate Joe Biden was campaigning on the other side of the state. The president also claimed victory after news the U.S. economy grew at a record rate in the third quarter.
This is the biggest event in business in 50 years. Nobody's ever seen a number like this.
We choose hope over fear. We choose unity over division. And we choose science over fiction.
A newly released Monmouth poll shows Biden with a slight lead among registered Florida voters.
Wisconsin Democrats are continuing to rally for Biden ahead of the election. Today, the Soul of the Nation bus tour made a stop in Madison. Wisconsin U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, and Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul were some of the speakers there. They discussed what was at stake this election and encouraged Wisconsinites to make a plan to vote. And Joe Biden will be in Milwaukee tomorrow night.
Ivanka Trump will be visiting Johnson Creek tomorrow for the Make America Great Again event. The location of the event hasn't been released, but it will start at 12:30 in the afternoon. President Trump will be in Green Bay on Friday.
A cloudy and chilly Thursday. So what's in store for the weekend? Let's get your first warn forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, we'll see a cool day for tomorrow. We'll see a big warm up on Saturday and then turn colder again on Sunday before temperatures start turning milder for next week. You can see a visible cloud track. Lots of clouds across the state. Not much in the way of sunshine there, but these clouds will gradually start to erode away later on tonight. On Doppler track, some light snow over parts of the eastern Dakotas and western Minnesota, and a few sprinkles out over central Lake Michigan and a couple of flurries in northern lower Michigan. Otherwise, pretty quiet out there. Temperatures are in the middle to upper 30s. Here in Madison, we're at 37. Lone Rock right now at 39 degrees, but Black River Falls already down to 29. And those for low temperatures last night. These are current temperatures, and you can see Madison right now 39, Janesville at 43. Wind chills, though, make it feel colder. We're feeling like 31 here in town, and most areas seeing wind chills right around 30. By tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to drop into the middle 20s. Then look for skies to turn partly sunny for tomorrow. It'll still remain cool with a high temperature of 42, but again, we will see an up and down temperature swing this weekend, followed by milder weather next week. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Nearly 200 more people in Wisconsin have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in the past day. There were 193 new hospitalizations. At least 1,968 people in the state have died from coronavirus complications, with 46 more deaths confirmed today. State and county health officials recorded an additional 4,278 new cases of the virus today. The state has reached an all-time total of 215,549 cases, and nearly 45,000 of those remain active. Coronavirus cases in the United States are continuing to increase. The surge in cases is taking a heavy toll, especially here in the Midwest. The U.S. recorded nearly 79,000 new cases yesterday, and the number of deaths rose by nearly 1,000.
A Wisconsin summer retreat for high school boys led to more than 100 students and staff testing positive for COVID. That's according to a CDC report. That report says from July 2nd through August 11th, more than 116 boys and staff were infected or likely infected with coronavirus. Health officials say 76% of the people who attended the camp tested positive. The report does not list a specific location for this camp. The CDC says the students were from 21 different states as well as 2 foreign countries. The state is significantly adding free testing sites now statewide. They'll add 71 new sites through December 10th. They won't be open every day. The times and places are listed on the DHS website. That's dhs.wisconsin.gov, and it'll again be run by the Wisconsin National Guard, which so far has done some 700,000 tests in Wisconsin. These 3 locations are in addition to the current statewide sites, so there's 74 total now. They're also adding messaging to those who get tested. First, for those who tested positive.
It is important, if you get a positive test, that you stay home and isolate from others in your household, and certainly others outside of your household until you are symptom-free for at least 3 days.
And they want those who test positive to help contact trace by notifying those who have been in close contact with them. DHS also strongly advising those who test negative not to see it as a ticket to go to larger gatherings or go visit people. They want to continue to see social distancing and mask wearing.
The school district of Milton announced that due to an increase in COVID-19 cases, the high school will switch to virtual learning. Virtual instruction will begin for all high school students starting on Monday and last at least through November 13th. Officials say the closure affects all athletic practices. Competitions and extracurricular activities are canceled.
Road games could turn into longer road trips for Evansville athletes. The school district planning to play winter sports, whether the conference joins or not. District leaders presented their winter athletics plan to the school board last night. It includes potentially busing students to non-conference opponents throughout southern Wisconsin. High school principal Jason Knott says since they've opened their doors to in-person learning, they feel confident about limiting risk to athletes too.
I think there was probably this feeling of going into the school year, the unknown, that schools were going to be these hotbeds of outbreaks, and I don't think that that's data would indicate that hasn't proven to be the case. If anything, I would argue that our schools have proven to be some of the safest places that we can have folks right now.
When Knott says he fears if the district doesn't give athletes a chance to play, they'll end up playing in AAU tournaments and face a higher risk there. We've got a full report coming your way tonight. News 3 Now at 6.
There's more to come tonight at 5. When we come back, the cleanup begins in the south after Hurricane Zeta slams into the Gulf Coast. We'll take a look at the damage. And then coming up tonight at 6, Dane County leaders announce a new plan to support the mental health needs of K-12 students. We'll tell you more about that at 6. On Wall Street, the Dow surged more than 139 points, an even bigger day for the NASDAQ, climbing 181, while the S&P jumped 39. We'll be right back.
Your local Monk's Bar and Grill is open for dine-in guests and convenient takeout. Come visit Monk's and enjoy award-winning apps, burgers, and more while dining safely with us. Visit monksbarandgrill.com to order online and easily view our menus.
And how you can protest. Let's turn off the noise and look at the facts about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's government-run health care plan. Their plan could lead to hospitals being closed, put Medicare coverage at risk, and give benefits to illegal immigrants. Their plan is just too dangerous for seniors like us. No amount of noise will change that. Learn more at seniorsbeware.com.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original windows. It's bone chilling.
Folks, there's no need to be afraid of old windows. Just call Feldco for 50% off.
Right now at Feldco, get 50% off windows. Plus, no interest for 1 year.
50% off ends Halloween. Hurry, call now.
Quality windows, siding, and doors. Call 866 for Feldco.
He's our independent voice who answers to no one but us, Todd Novak. Todd Novak is working across the aisle, passing the bipartisan COVID-19 relief bill, helping hospitals and communities get the resources needed to fight the coronavirus. Todd Novak is helping families, small businesses, and farmers as we work to rebuild the economy safely. And Todd Novak led the bipartisan effort to make sure our water is clean and safe for future generations. Our voice, Todd Novak for State Assembly.
If you elect me, your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
What does that mean for you? Household incomes down $6,500 a year. Higher gas prices at the pump and utility bills at home.
And here's how it works. I'm going to raise taxes.
Small businesses pay more. 5 million jobs lost.
You're going to get a tax raise.
An economy in ruins. That's what Joe Biden's tax increase means for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Take a break from cooking at home and order takeout from your local Monk's Bar and Grill. Monk's is offering curbside pickup takeout service for your safety and convenience during these difficult times. Visit monksbarandgrill.com for takeout menus and online ordering.
Tonight at 6, a Rock County High School has decided to go ahead with winter sports despite the pandemic, and Dane County leaders announce a new plan to support the mental health needs of K through 12 students.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
An attacker armed with a knife has killed 3 people inside a church in the French city of Nice. Today's attack prompted the government to raise its security alert status to the maximum level just hours before a nationwide coronavirus lockdown. This was the 3rd attack in 2 months in France that authorities have attributed to Muslim extremists, including the beheading of a teacher. French President Emmanuel Macron said he would immediately increase the number of soldiers deployed to protect schools and religious sites from around 3,000 currently to 7,000.
Hurricane Zeta has killed at least 3 people with high winds, heavy rain, and up to 10 feet of storm surge in some areas. Zeta made landfall in Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane, packing winds up to 110 miles per hour. Overnight, more than 500,000 people were without power across the state.
The fact that this hurricane hit South Mississippi doesn't change the fact that we're still dealing with COVID-19. We still have other issues that are very challenging, but we want to just be here and really talk to people on the ground and reassure them that we're going to do everything in our power to help. And I am confident that all 3 million Mississippians that were not personally affected by this storm are going to do everything they can to be helpful as well.
President Trump has already approved emergency declarations in both Louisiana and Mississippi.
Well, let's get a look at our first warned weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti always keeps an eye on where Zeta may be heading next, Gary.
Yeah, take a look where it is now. It's over Delaware. It has just raced to the northeast. I've never seen a tropical system move this quickly, at least in the mid-latitudes around the United States. It moved quickly to the northeast. In fact, it's moving right now to the east-northeast at 55 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds 50 miles an hour and gusts to 65 miles per hour. But you can see most of the precipitation out over New England now ahead of the system, and you can see it basically strengthening a little bit as it moves back out over the open waters of the Atlantic Ocean, but it's lost tropical characteristics because it's merged with a front, so it's more like a very intense low pressure system that moves out in the Atlantic. 3 things you need to know about our forecast. Tomorrow will be a cool day. We'll turn partly sunny, but high temperatures only stay in the lower 40s. It'll be windy over the weekend, and that will cause temperatures to jump up on Saturday into the middle 50s and then drop right back down into the upper 30s on Sunday as a cold front comes through Saturday night. And then mild weather will take hold beginning on Election Day Tuesday and probably last through the rest of next week with high temperatures in the mid-50s to around 60 degrees. On Weather Track, things are pretty quiet here, just a lot of cloud cover right now. You can see the remnants of Zeta pushing precipitation through New England and out into the Atlantic Ocean, but this is the back part of that system. Again, it's merged with a stationary front and a low pressure system farther to the west, so it's really not a tropical weather system per se. Our upper level winds right now from the northwest, we notice the jet stream flattening out just to our west, so we're going to see that brief surge of mild air before a cold front that's moving into western Canada sweeps southeastward Saturday night and turns us cold again for Sunday. Right now, very quiet weather across our part of the Midwest, other than a few light rain and snow showers in North Dakota, and that's actually out ahead of a warm front that'll move northeastward. It won't reach us tomorrow, but as it moves through on tomorrow night into Friday morning, our winds will shift to a more southerly direction, and that will start the increase in temperatures. Right now, readings are mainly in the 30s. La Crosse, 41, Dubuque, Dubuque, Iowa 42, but that's not very high. And you can see compared to 24 hours ago, our temperatures are running a good 5 to 15 degrees colder. But as we look at future track, you can see how the upper level winds or the lower level winds stay out of the northwest for tomorrow. And then look what happens as we head into Friday. Those winds start to shift around to the south. Still won't help temperatures too much, but then notice on Saturday, those winds out of the south and southwest. By Saturday night, clouds will move back in. There might be a sprinkle or two of rain, but notice by Sunday, those winds go back around to the northwest, and that brings in the colder weather. And notice the high temperatures over the next 10 days. Near normal on Saturday, below normal for Sunday and Monday, and then above normal beginning on Tuesday and lasting through the end of next week. As we check out the forecast for tomorrow, look for skies to become partly sunny, but it will continue cool with a high temperature of 42 degrees, and the 7 to 10 day forecast calls for high temperatures mid-50s Saturday, upper 30s on Sunday, back to the mid-40s on Monday, and then mid-50s for Election Day Tuesday. Trick-or-treaters I don't think should have a problem. The clouds will start coming in later on during the evening hours, but then Election Day looks pretty good. It stays dry through next weekend. Next chance for rain will be a shower or thunderstorm chance by Sunday night of next weekend. As we take a look at first warn traffic right now, we were seeing some delays, still are seeing some delays on the southbound I-3990 from the I-94 interchange through the Beltline interchange and farther to the south and east. The Beltline is feeding into it, so starting to see some backups on the Beltline from Stoughton Road eastward. Right now, not affecting traffic too much on the Beltline, 15-minute trip or so either direction between University Avenue and the interstate. But take a look at the trip from the Beltline southward to Janesville on I-3990. That's usually about 25 minutes. It's now 39 minutes. Normal times on US 12 to Sauk City and East Washington Avenue, US 151 to Sun Prairie. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, how a photograph inspired some people across the country to help a Milwaukee man in need. His story ahead at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Isn't it time you had a health insurance company that shares the same values as you? One that acts like a trusted health partner that not only offers easy access to the doctors, hospitals, and clinics of UW Health, but also sees the greater good in keeping us healthy in the first place. A company that understands that serving our community means serving all of our communities. Isn't it time you had Quartz? Quartz, health plans built with you in mind.
Because talk is cheap. Let's look at what Joe Biden's done. During the last economic crisis, President Obama trusted Joe to lead the recovery and bring us back. Now he has the plan to do it again, to revive and reinvest in jobs and real help for middle-class families. He'll listen to experts to get control of the virus so we can build back even better. Joe Biden, a president to get it done. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we live where you live, so we know that to get the job done right, you need quality gear. And right now, shop great low prices on top brands of workwear, footwear, and more during our fall workwear event. Like this closeout women's Dickies flannel, half price, $10 off all cat work boots. And gear up for hunting season with these men's waterproof boots, only $89.99. Buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru. You don't even need to get out of your car.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
I'm a mom, a grandma, and a business owner. Our family repaired 3 barns and a 100-year-old farmhouse for our small business. I was raised to believe in hard work and that a person's word is sacred. As your assemblywoman, I'll work hard for our small towns and family farms, to rebuild our schools and main streets, and be your fiscal watchdog to make sure our tax dollars come back to work for us here at home.
Wisconsin. During early voting, you can same-day register and vote at your early voting site until October 30th. If you're already registered, the last day to vote early is November 1st. So go to iwillvote.com/WI to see where you can vote early now. Remember to bring a photo ID and proof of residency. For more information, call 608-336-3232.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Get up and get going. It's time to get your Fusion with the limited time offer. And well, let's just say more, like Copilot 360, Bliss, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, adaptive cruise control, Wi-Fi hotspot, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Whew, that's a lot. What are you waiting for? Get to your Ford dealer today. Right now, get Fusion with 0% financing for 66 months plus $3,000 cash back. Or lease one for just $199 a month. Hurry in.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A photographer took a striking picture of a homeless man in Los Angeles.
A couple of Good Samaritans were so moved, they jumped into action to help the man get on his feet. Gia Vang has the story.
This photograph taken by John Huang, anguish all over this man's face. A short description saying wants to be better, lost contact with his family, is Hmong and from Milwaukee.
I read it and I was like, well, you know, like he's my people and, you know, let's see what we can do to help out. Like, let me at least track him down and see if I can get him connected to resources.
Daniel Lee was among a number of strangers who went looking for Sang. Eventually, they find him.
Yeah, he's very timid, very shy, you know, and I can just tell from the look in his eyes that he's been through a lot.
But what's next? None of them figured would be this.
All right, it is currently 4:57 p.m.
They'd be driving Sang more than 2,000 miles from L.A. to Colorado through Iowa and finally to Wisconsin to connect him with services with the help from strangers from all over the country, including Minnesota.
It's the only way we can reasonably say that we got him there to the place where he needed to be.
Sang's story has holes and is messy. These guys say it doesn't matter.
It's not just somebody who's homeless, it's somebody who's lost. There's a saying like, you know, when you come into my town, call me. You know, call me, let me know that you're here, and I'll take care of you. And that's the I guess that's the closest way of defining how I felt.
Strangers now bonded during a time when so many of us are separated because they saw the humanity through this picture.
We may not know everybody's story, but we have to do what we can to help each other out. We have to look out for each other.
And stay with us. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
Hey, Dutch boy, show me Mocha Red.
Okay.
Does it have a smooth, durable finish?
Yes, and it's 50% more stain resistant. Still talking to Dutch boy?
Dutch boy, show me Sleepy Purple.
Okay.
Oh, would you look at that?
That's better.
He'll still help us paint, right?
With Dutch Boy's quality paint and Menards expert service, you can twist off to something great.
Right now at Menards, get 11% off everything, including Dutch Boy paint.
You call me devious, but you don't understand that all I am is a little mysterious.
So what do you think?
I love it.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At Shopco Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're Shopco Optical. You'll see. Right now, get 40% off lenses with the purchase of any frames.
If you elect me, your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
What does that mean for you? Household incomes down $6,500 a year. Higher gas prices at the pump and utility bills at home.
And here's how it works. I'm going to raise taxes.
Small businesses pay more. 5 million jobs lost.
You're going to get a tax raise.
An economy in ruins. That's what Joe Biden's tax increase means for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Todd Novak's doing a great job. Just ask his opponent, Chris Marion. She sent Novak the nicest notes, like this email.
Todd, I have nothing but admiration for the job you're doing.
And when Marion was running for state senate, she even reached out to Todd, saying,
I aspire to be the Todd Novak of the Senate.
Quite the endorsement, so take it from Chris Marion herself.
I have nothing but admiration. I aspire to be the Todd Novak of the Senate.
Todd Novak, an independent voice, our hardworking state representative.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, with 5 days to go, President Trump and Joe Biden battle it out in the Sunshine State. Will their closing pitches to voters in Florida make a difference in the key swing state? Plus, our exclusive interview with the former Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coats, what he says about election interference in what he's calling the Super Bowl of elections. And at 101 years old, how one inspiring American is reminding us all to fulfill our civic duty. That's all tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
And Gary's here with a final check of the weather.
Pretty chilly out there right now. Temperatures are in the 30s from Madison on toward the north and east, some lower 40s to the south and west. Temperatures will drop into the mid-20s by tomorrow morning, lower 40s for tomorrow, but mid-50s for Saturday and upper 30s for Sunday.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.